What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. We're going to be going over some stuff in the charts. I do want to focus a little bit more on the daily, although we will be looking at smaller time frames, but this daily close is going to be pretty damn important. We're going to talk about that. Also, if you guys have been watching my videos, we were looking for this 42.6. I did happen to get a short in there. I'm still short. I have my stops down here at 41.7. Anyways, we did hit our target. Now the question is, will we go to these lower targets? We'll talk about that in a few. That is the smaller time frame. Looking at the bigger picture that we have been looking at since this chart started back in May 21st to be exact, when we hit this top here, we considered that a wave 2. Have we hit wave 3? That's the question, or I'm sorry, wave 5 right here. That is a possibility. We went over it over and over and over again. It's still possible that all this is a wave 4, but it's a little less likely, and we'll talk about that in the next chart. But remember, guys, anytime we cross this green trend line, that's when I would say we could possibly get a new all-time high. But as long as we're under this, I honestly don't think we'll see a new all-time high this year. I've been talking about it forever, talking about the stuff going on in the real world. We all know the housing market is about to get really crazy. If you don't know about that, look into it. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but as of right now, we're still looking at this as a possibility. We could be in wave B. We talked about that last week, that this being the top, which would be the 382 fib, and coming down for C could be as low as 6,500, although I'm not so sure it'll go that low, but I still believe by the beginning of next year, we should probably see 10K or less. As you guys know, we have a huge volume node down all the way on right here, that 9,500 range. We've talked about that over and over and over again. That is a pretty, as you can see, it was huge resistance back here. Once we got above it, we tested it once before continuing up was all. Good possibility we come back down to retest that area again. But let's talk about this a little bit. So if we are in B wave, if B wave ended here and we're going in C down, that would be 5 waves to the downside. If that's the case, we could see this low sometime at the end of this year, possibly. But let's look. If we go up to the next fib, if this B wave does have higher to go, and again, we'll talk about that. The daily close is going to be pretty important for the medium time frame. So anyways, if we go up to the 0.5 fib, that would put our C wave at about 10.9. If we make it back all the way up to this golden pocket zone, that would put the C wave at about 15.1. So let's keep a close eye on that, and let's look at some more stuff here. So if we do go higher, remember we had these targets here. The first one being actually right here. This was our first target of the break of this triangle, and that would get us up to about the 45.1, which is still a possibility. If you're trading correctly, guys, you should be doing pretty damn good right now. But if you're just trading to trade, trying to jump into every trade, not paying attention to what's going on and not using stop losses, you're probably losing money. Like I said, once you get into a trade and you get into some profit, move your stops at least to break even or into profit. I say it all the time, but anyways, so that target would be around 50,600, which would end up looking something like this. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. We'll go into some more detail, but also I wanted to point out right here, as you can see, we still made hidden bearish divergence here with this top. If you look right here on the RSI, higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action, that did show us some bearish signs. Now, back to this chart. If you guys been watching my tweets, I tweeted this also with these targets down here. We almost hit that first target. Once we broke this, we have these targets in here. This one just being the 55 EMA, but the actual target of this move is around the 35.8 to 36,000, which would also line up with the 200 EMA. Could we go up from there? Possibly, if you want to put in a long and then, like I said, follow it, moving your stops up just to get into a little bit of profit. And if it rides, ride it all the way up. If not, you're already in profit. That's the proper way to trade. But if you look, another thing I want to point out, this looks like an ending wave ending fifth wave diagonal that we have broken down. That's why I do believe we'll come down to this level. Now, it doesn't mean we come straight down. We could see something like this, bop back up, come down. We could even come up possibly and retest this wedge all the way up to the 41.5 area and continue down. If we break this top trend line right here, that would be bullish, but I would wait. If we do break it, wait for a retest and then continue up. But again, the daily is going to be key here, and we're going to take a look at that daily chart here in a minute. Actually, I'll get into it. I'll just switch this chart to the daily, and we'll go from there. But if another thing you'll notice, as we were getting higher highs here, our volume is decreasing rapidly. That's not a good sign for the bulls. Let's put this on the daily real quick. We'll also take a look at our longer term charts that we have been watching. So anyways, as of right here, we talked about this possibly being distribution. And in the distribution phase, we usually have a big fake out in this area, just like we had up here. Also, you'll notice there was a fifth wave ending diagonal right here, just like the one we're seeing now. Now, this one was in the daily. We are obviously in one in the 4 hour now. But you can see what happened there after that fifth wave ending diagonal. Came down, broke through, came back up, just like we may see again. Like I said, could come back up, retest this trend line. But a break of this trend line, depending on if, when, and where it breaks. So if we were to go up here in the next couple days, that'd be about 42,100. We break above that, get support on this line, then we could go higher. But as of right now, it's still looking bearish in my opinion. Let me get this out of the way, and we'll look at what I was talking about, a buy signal or sell signal on the daily soon. So as you can see, if you guys know my EMA strategy, if not, go over to my videos right here on my YouTube channel, go to the home page, and you'll see using EMAs and some other tutorials here. Definitely check them out. They're free. Also, I do have a Prime XBT tutorial. If you guys are interested in trading, that is by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You can have multiple charts up. You can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything on one exchange. And by using my promo code SAVVY50, that'll get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus. So if you put in one Bitcoin, you'll get a half a Bitcoin bonus to use towards your margin. Savvy25 will give you 25% off of your trading fees, which is a huge discount. But anyways, check it out. It's right there. It shows you how to use their leverage. A lot of people get confused on the leverage on Prime XBT. I also have links down below. BYBIT is doing another $1,600 bonus if you guys are interested in BYBIT. Some people prefer it. I do not. I prefer Prime. But anyways, let's get back into this. We'll also take a look at the bullish count. But anyways, as of right now, like I said, if we close the daily above this 39.3, if we close the daily, we could get a sell signal here. As you can see on the daily, our 21 is crossing our 55. If we do close above this red EMA, which is the 8 EMA, like I said, around the 39.3, somewhere in that range. If we close above that, we could get a run back up to this trend line. Like I said, watch that 42.1 area. If that breaks on the next few days and we get support on this trend line, we could go higher. But another thing to watch for is a sell signal here. And a sell signal would be 3 red candles being 3 black crows, which is a bearish sign. Now, that doesn't mean it can't get another little pop up before going down. But if these, if we get another big red body here and we close below that 32.3 range, I would say we pretty much have 3 black crows here, which is a bearish sign. Also, like I said, as you can see, the price was increasing, volume decreasing. Not a good sign for the bulls. This is the bullish case. We've had this count on here since we bottomed over here, that this could possibly be the bullish case. Wave 3, we were looking for around 42,000, which we went a little above. Wave 4 would bring us down as low as 37.1, and then we could go wave 5 to 45. But at any time, if this wave 1, which is at 36.8, if that is broken, that invalidates this bullish count. We could head down pretty quickly at that point. So guys, learn to understand there are confirmation points. It doesn't just, this is not a crystal ball. There are confirmation points. If you learn how to use them, and that's why I kind of described to you how I get all this stuff. So hopefully you can learn and not just blindly follow people's trades. That's what most people do. That will get you wrecked in the long run. No matter what, don't follow anybody on YouTube, including myself, to do your trades. Hopefully you'll watch, learn, watch the charts, learn how markets work, and get better at it yourself. Let's get into another view. Now, this is on the 1 hour. We were looking at this as a rising, broadening wedge. And if we take a measured move from where we broke it here, what does that get us? Now, that shows us a much lower target, somewhere down in the 32.5 range from breaking the wedge at this point. If we use this white trend line off of this wick, this wick, this wick, and this wick, which is way more touches, if we do that, then let's see what that would get us. We'll go up to the widest point of the wedge. A lot of people won't like to see this, but if you look back in June, the day before we had the drop to 29,000, I made a video and it was actually said, could we hit 29,000 by June? And we did. So anyways, let's see what this target would be. Move this on down and clone this, put it in here. That target would be somewhere around the 30,300. Again, as you can see, we were talking about breaking down here. The reason I keep this green or yellow, whichever, I'm colorblind, line in here is because it worked with the RSI. We had this bear trap and popped back up, broke above it, and now we are back below it, remaining below it. So if you want to keep an eye on this on the hourly, keep an eye on this trend line here. If we open and close the RSI above that, we can get that one more push up. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to get it. Looking at the EMAs on hourly, we had a sell signal right here on this candle. We did get a pop up, which happens often. We did come up, test the 21 EMA and got rejected. And right now we're above some huge, or below some huge resistance. We keep trying to wick above it, not working out so well. Let's see. So this is the bigger picture. Let me go into this. This is from the 2020 drop all the way to the top, our Fibonacci retracement levels. We did get a fake out above our 0.382 fib. Right now we are just in this range again, bottom of the range being around 34,350. Another break of that, making it resistance, then we're possibly headed down to what we've been looking for here, at least the 25.2 to 27.1. Which is the golden pocket zone, which is the 0.65 fib and the 0.618. If you guys are interested in helping support the channel, check out my wife's webpage. Link is down below in the description, inkyourimage.com. A lot of cool stuff on here. This is currently the hottest seller, especially for people beginning to learn how to trade. Divergence is one of the hardest things to learn. It is a divergence cheat sheet mouse pad, so it's right there for you to check it out. But that's on there. There's also a bunch of other stuff. Great gift ideas. She does put pictures on wood, aluminum, anything you want on any of this stuff, glass. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Again, it's a great way to help support the channel and you actually get something from it. But anyways, this is probably one of the most hated charts that is out there right now, and the most disbelieved chart. And I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it is a possibility you need to look at, because if traditional markets do go into a bear market for multi-years, that could be very, 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 very bad for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will not hold up if the traditional markets go in a bear market. I don't care what anyone says, it cannot hold up to a traditional bear market. Bitcoin, since its creation, has been in a traditional market bull market. It hasn't seen a traditional bear market, but even in the traditional bull market, it's still seen 85 to 90% corrections. I know everybody thinks it's a 4-year cycle. Kudos, it may be, and it may continue that way. I do not think so. I think we're in a 10 to 12-year cycle now, and that may be changing. This is another chart. This is with our arcs here that we've been watching. Let me put it on the 3-day. So looking at it on the 3-day, as you guys know, I do believe we are beginning the bear market. As you can see, every time we break, well, let's go back to the 1-day to show this, because it shows it much better. So on the 1-day, every time we've broken this 200 EMA, which is the purple line here, we've dropped back below it, came back above, and had a fake out. And if we throw the NVT on there, as you can see, we were in the red in our top up here, came down, got into the red again once we broke back above for the fake out, which broke above all the EMAs again, and then just turned right back around. If we look back here in 2017, we had our top here, NVT was red. Next time NVT turned red was right in here. We had our fake outs above the EMAs, and you know what happened after that. Same thing actually happened right here in 2019. We had the NVT showing red, topped out, came back down. Next time it showed red was a fake out and back down. And right now, here was our top on the NVT in red, right? And I know a lot of people think there has to be a blow off top. Let me tell you, there does not have to be a blow off top. Reason being, this distribution is a macro big player top. That's why I do believe we are topped right here. Again, I could be wrong. If you go back to that first chart, if at any time we break this green trend line, then we could see new all-time highs. Until then, I don't see it. Google user, your one switched on, man. Thanks for this info. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And thank you for the support, man. I see you all the time giving me super chats. I do appreciate that highly. Just know, guys, super chats aren't expected, but they are appreciated. So anyways, this is where we're at now. Back in this range, it does seem. Let's go on to another chart here. So this is another thing we've been watching. If you've been watching the channel, you'll understand this. We have our Fibonacci channel in all the way in here from our bottom and top. And as you can see, we had, during this bull run, we had a parabolic arc. Once we broke that, we confirmed a bear market. 2017 started in 2014. This huge parabolic arc, once we broke it, we were in the bear market. And as of right now, we have made another arc, broke it over here. I do think we are in a bear market. As I said, you can see the hidden bearish divergence here in this downtrend. It's still pretty significant. We go off of this high, or even this high. We've made lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI. Let's go. This is the part we've been talking about. When I was talking about opening and closing, you know, some candles above here. We've done it a few candles now. Will we be able to remain on top of this? Any drop back below this and an open and close below this 39.4 range is bearish. I do think we come down to these levels, maybe test this next fib. But I have given you guys some other things to look at. So those of you that watch the channel understand this chart. This is the dollar in green, the DXY index. And if you look and this is Bitcoin in the back. Every time the dollar taps this top trend line, Bitcoin bottoms. Right here, 2020, Bitcoin bottom. Every time it touches the bottom, Bitcoin tops. Touch the bottom, Bitcoin top. Touch the bottom, Bitcoin top. Until something changes here, nothing has changed. Let's look at the DXY. So the DXY, we do have some lower targets possible. By looking at the DXY here, we have some measured moves in here. Let me go into the 4 hour. It'll probably be a little bit easier to see. Yes, so we're looking at this as a possible rising wedge here, or ending fifth wave diagonal, or rising channel. We have two targets here for the dollar to be bottomed, and that's 91.5 to 91.1, somewhere in this range. If the dollar gets down to these levels, I expect Bitcoin to get that one little last pump, and then the dollar bounce, Bitcoin drops. This is the long term. And I'll go into something else too before I get into the chat. I will be getting into the chat with you guys. Lee Ving, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Anyways, as you can see, this is the weekly chart, and this is back in January 2018 for the Dow Jones. We're making lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. That is bearish divergence. We've made it from here, 20 till now. Higher highs in the price, lower highs in the RSI, bearish divergence. As you guys know, I think that if it isn't topped out here, it is damn close, and I think we are in for a huge surprise in the dollar, or I'm sorry, in the Dow Jones. One other thing I want to point out, well, I'll do that here in a minute. So gold, I still have the targets possibly as high as 1870, but then ultimately coming down to 1677 or 16. We do have hidden bearish divergence here in gold. We have had lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI, bearish divergence. We did get a little dump. Could that be played out? Maybe, but I still think in the best case scenario, this is a A. We get a B and then a C. That's what I'm seeing. So let me move this over because I'm going to be showing you guys something else here in a minute. I try to stress this to people so people can understand it's not a guarantee, but it has happened every other time, and everybody wants to talk about everything that's happened every other time, and that's why I'm looking at it. So could this be another ending fifth wave diagonal with silver? It cannot get back above this trend line. As you guys know, my targets are between 21.8 and 20 on silver, possibly as low as 12 bucks. If traditional markets go in a bear market, and people say, well, that's where you hedge against the dollar. That is the most overrated lie that anybody has ever told, with the gold and silver hedge against the dollar. And I'll show you why here in a few. Litecoin, still nothing's changed. Looking for around 100 bucks. The highest I see Litecoin going is about 187 if Bitcoin gets that one more leg up. But otherwise, if Bitcoin does go all the way down to those lower lows, could be looking at a $50 Litecoin by beginning of next year. Same thing with Ethereum. We have this measured move, if you look at this as Adam and Eve, all the way up to 35.35 being a possibility, which would match up with Bitcoin breaking its high from this high. So we could see that 31.35, but ultimately I see us coming back down to 1,000 or 1,300 and possibly as low as 500. XRP getting a little phony pump here. I believe the same for XRP. We'll be seeing at least 43 cents again, possibly all the way down to 24. That's my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. And let's get into the chat. What's up, guys? Hey, Savvy, thanks for always for your perspective and content. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys, even the trolls. You do help the channel. And we have 760 people in here, only 280 likes. Please, guys, take a second out. Smash that like button, and I'll show you how to do that if you don't know. Here's today's video. Go right under the video and hit this like button right here, or dislike, whichever you choose. Doesn't matter to me. Anyways, yeah, do that. If you are on your mobile, exit the chat and it'll pop up. You can hit the thumbs up or down. And then if you are on Google TV, you can click in the bottom left corner where it says more actions, and then it'll say more actions. Click that and it'll give you the option to like the video or dislike the video, whichever you choose. Doesn't matter to me, but it does help the YouTube algorithm. So even you thumbs down help a lot. Rizwan, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Smash that like button, guys. The more I say it, the more likes get smashed. So I will say it over and over. But anyways, if you're watching this video after the live, go ahead and leave a comment down below. That will help the YouTube algorithm, and it does help the channel out, and I do greatly appreciate it. BTC looks drop imminent by the Bollinger Band. Possibly. I don't watch the Bollinger Band. I like my EMAs. Basically, the Bollinger Band is just made with a bunch of EMAs anyways. And the reason I use these EMAs, if you watch that tutorial back here, I explain they are all used, or I use them because they are Fibonacci level numbers. That's why I use the EMAs I do. And they're very responsive to the price action. So again, guys, make sure you keep a close eye on the daily close today. That's going to be extremely important. Thanks, Savvy. A few of us are having issues with getting trend line to line up with your 42.6. Any suggestions? Seems to line up with 46. You're probably on the log chart. I am not. I am on the linear chart. That is probably the problem you're having. Let me Let me go in here. But you can see that hit absolutely perfectly on the daily. Perfectly. Couldn't have been more perfect. Nailed it right there. Bam. And like I said, we had that target there. If you guys watched the video last week, we had the target at exactly 42,646 is where I had it. Didn't quite hit there. Damn close. But anyways, that's how I got that. It does look like we're getting a little bounce out the 55 EMA as of right now. Do I think that'll last? We'll see. We have to get back above this trend line and all the EMAs before anything looks bullish at all here. But remember, last time we had a fifth wave ending diagonal, although this one was a much larger. We never even came up to retest that bottom except for the quick one here. And then we had a huge drop. So don't be surprised if that happens here, guys. We do have plenty of room on the RSI for much more downside. So be aware of that. Always great content, Savvy. Keep it up, man. Thanks, man. Theta is a huge buy right now. Price is manipulated by Binance. Okay. Oh, I did want to look at this too. Like you said, the trend line wasn't lining up. Like I said, on the linear, this lines up perfectly. I will put it over. Let's go into the daily, and I'll put it on the log scale, and that's probably the problem you guys are having. And it is. Well, no, even in the log scale, this is dead on, man. Let me check it out. Let me put an extra one on here. Oh yeah, that's what you're doing. You're on the log scale, so that would put it actually around 44. So if you're a log person, that might be what you would want to look at. I like the linear. I do well with it, so I'm not going to change. Huge bearish divergent. Why don't you keep it on top priority? A little explanation. Can you help a little? What are you talking about? Katie, love your TA savvy. I realize time is tricky, but how far back can you analyze the custom RSI to present time to determine divergence? Depending on what time frame you're on, but you go from usually the last high to the the last high of the chart was right here. So you would go to this high, and the high that we're at now is here, which is right here. Let me get this line off here so you can see it. Right here. We also were looking at this, which could be another reason that we go up higher. But we could come back down and test this trend line also. But we could get back all the way up into that 87 area again. And even if we did, that might be that 50 to 55,000 range before. So like I said, if you guys are trading, trade these little moves. Like if you would have shorted where I was talking about last week, actually Friday and Saturday, I think I had that target all last week, actually. This target right here. We were looking at a retest of that trend line, which we got. If you shorted there, you'd be in good profit right now, and you would move your stops down into profit. Don't get greedy. And you would be already, no way you could lose this trade if you do it. That's the position I'm in right now. But I am still looking to come back down here. I'll take some profits at around 35.7, 35.8. That if we get down to that range, and I will move my stops down lower, probably somewhere around the 40,800 area, and then let that ride. If I get stopped out, oh well, I'll look for the next trade. Otherwise, I'll be looking to take profit around 35.8 to 36,000. Do you think we'll see 41K or 38K again first? Honestly, it could go either way right now. So if you're not in a trade, now would not be the time to enter it, because our EMAs right here, if we come up for a retest of this today or tomorrow, would be around the 40,500 range. We break back above this and get support in here, then that invalidates the fifth wave ending diagonal. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, guys, there are no guarantees at all. Oh, this is something else I forgot to talk about. So the Dow Jones, every time, people say hedge against the dollar. Okay. This is the 2008 crash. We crashed 55% on the Dow. Gold crashed 35%. Silver crashed 61%. Let's look at the DXY. What did the DXY do? Let's go into the daily. And now I'm starting to hear other people talk about the dollar may rise after everybody was super bearish and say the dollar was going to zero. Kind of funny, huh? I've been saying it all year that the dollar is bullish for the next year or two. But as you can see from the 2008 crash, dollar is the only thing that rose, and it rose 26%. And you know what happened? When it did bottom, the big money bought it back into the stock market and everything else, using the money power to grab them more stock, and they rode it up. And I believe they are getting out again, and that's going to make the dollar rise again. And this looks like a huge... This actually looks like a big W about to be forming. We'll see what happens. But as you can see, last time we broke out of this wedge, we went way the hell up. And we've broken out of that wedge, retesting it. I think we are still on our way up. All right, back into the chat. Incredible how people question a reversal after so many days of going up nonstop. People need to learn how markets work. Yeah, because this is not a reversal. There's no confirmation at all of a real reversal. People say, oh, you missed out on this whole gain. Well, let's zoom out. What was it better to do this whole market since 64? It was better to short the pumps. Here was the pump, short it. Next pump, short it. Next pump, short it. Next pump, short it. This pump, short it. There was not a lot of good opportunities for longs in here. I do not long in a bear market. Until this is confirmed that it's not a bear market and it's a reversal, I will not be longing anything. I don't even have a reason to scalp it because there's so much more profit in shorts right now. Thank you, Savvy. Also, Prime XBT doesn't offer demo trading anymore. Just wanted to let you know. Oh, well, either way, you can do demo right on TradingView. And if you guys don't have TradingView, I have a link down below. It's totally free unless you want to get the upgraded version, but you can do pretty much everything with the free version. You can just, I think you can only have 5 indicators and so many charts, but it's a great way to get started. And guys, another thing, I talk about it all the time. If you're going to start trading, start out with a small amount. First, start out with a fake account. If you can be profitable in a fake account, then put in a little bit of money depending on your financial situation, $5, $10, whatever. And if you can't grow that, then don't put in 20 grand and try to grow it, because you won't be able to if you couldn't grow 5 or 10 bucks. You don't need a lot of money to trade and to learn. Do you think Ethereum looks the same as Bitcoin? I don't see it breaking down yet. Yeah, like I said, if you look at what happened here, let me show you. With Bitcoin, remember, see, we broke this second high down here after the low. Let's look at Ethereum. We did not break the second high after the low. That's why I think we could possibly go to that 31.35 with all the crap Ethereum hype, getting everybody to buy in before they dump on them. Definitely possible. We are right at that VPVR resistance right now. Right at that 39,850. Hi, Katie. FTX is not offering demo either. Like I said, guys, my preferred exchange is Prime XBT. I do have a small account that I trade on BYBIT also, but look up A and B exchanges. I've explained that in 100 videos. 99% of all the other exchanges trade against you. Prime does not. Prime would prefer you to win and stick around so they can make commission off your trades. BYBIT and all them other ones, they only win if you lose. So it's better for them if you lose. That's why they have to keep pumping more and more people into the exchange, because they keep taking everyone's money. Andreas, don't forget the wife's website. I did not. I already talked about it right here, inkimage.com. Check it out, guys. It's quality stuff too. It's not garbage. It's not iron on. It's not vinyl. None of that junk. It's actually quality stuff. Professional. Is it irrelevant to compare 2013 and 2017 and 21 cycles? Yeah, the market's a lot different now, guys. You know, something else I wanted to point out. They're talking about this huge reversal here. You know, so be it. If it is, I don't think it is, but the same people were screaming 70 to 100,000 when we were at our very top. Then they were screaming buy the dip right here at 50. And then they were screaming 75 to 100,000 again right here. And then they screamed buy the dip all the way down. So most people that are following them guys are pretty badly in the red. Chinese investors are untethering. Yeah, I've always said I don't trust Tether. Not to say we're going to see anything tomorrow on Tether, but within the next year or two, maybe 3, we're going to see some bad news about Tether. It's obvious to me. Again, that's my opinion. It's all, guys, no matter what, even if you listened to the guys that said buy the dip here, buy the dip here, buy the dip here, it's not their fault if you bought the dip unless they told you that it was for sure something. But listening to someone else's opinion to make your decision is it's all on you. If you hit the buy, if you hit the short, if you hit the long, if you hit the sell button, that is all on you. You are the one that pushes the button. Nobody else is pushing buttons for you. Please do your own due diligence and don't pay attention to the news. I'm telling you, do not pay attention to the news in anything, in crypto, in real world, all that crap. It'll just screw you up. All the news and all the people with money that own all these companies that put out the news, they are telling you where to put your money so they can take it. Thanks, Katie. I agree on listening to others' opinions. CryptoSavvy, in a true bear market, will you dollar cost average and coin ride up or just trade? In a true bear market, I will, and it all depends, guys. It doesn't matter what price it gets to. It matters what path it takes to get there. A lot of people don't understand that and don't comprehend that. And them are the ones that are always screaming, you were wrong, blah, 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 because they have no clue what the hell they're talking about. They don't understand that it's not where the price goes, it's how it gets there. And I will let you guys know if I buy back in a hodl position. How much confirmation do we need for W formation? I really appreciate it. What do you mean for here? Honestly, guys, this will be a sloppy W. I don't see this being a W here, but we'll see what happens. Again, we're below this 0.382 fib again. That's going to be huge, heavy resistance. As you can see, there was no high volume here, and it still could not push up through it because we were on low volume going up. That is not bullish. That is a bear trap. Which version do you need? I think on any paid version, you would be able to get that this VPVN here indicator. I just don't think it's on the free version, but I think any other version, you should be able to get that. I think there's a discount if you use my TradingView link to like 30% or something. I'm not sure. You'd have to check into it, but. Savvy, not considering all other cycles, is like ignoring what comes every season. The downtrend has never broken in any cycle. You really think it can break that downtrend from the top? I don't know what you're talking about. I gave you my long-term view and it's right here. And it's playing out exactly like it has every other time, right here. So yeah, it's showing bearish, very bearish in my opinion, guys, for the long term. Medium term, I'm not saying that Bitcoin's never going to go higher. People seem to mistake that and think I'm a negative Bitcoin hater. Well, I've been called negative since we were up here. While all the people calling me negative were buying way overpriced Bitcoin. I do believe Bitcoin does have a chance to survive and go much, much higher in the years to come, but I don't think that's going to come anytime soon. Boris, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. What do you think about swing failure from 38.3? There is a VAH at 38.2. I mean, you could look back here. You could look back here, here, here. It all is the same as what's going on right now. If that changes, I'll let you know what I think. But as of right now, guys, this is what I am looking at. Like I said, if we get back above this and get support and get back above these EMAs here, which would be around 40,500, 40,000. If it happened the next day or so, it'd be around 40,500. So if we do get support, then we would be looking to come up and retest this around 42.5 or so. If we break above that 42.5 or so, get support, then we could be going up higher. But until then, this still looks pretty bearish to me. Thanks, Joanne. Bear markets make you rich. You can make a lot of money in bear markets because you can make a lot of money in bear markets. People think that you only make money when the price goes up. That is as wrong as you could possibly be. If you learn to trade, you can make more money in a bear market than you can in a bull market. Learn to trade, guys. Practice. Don't jump in and throw a bunch of money in and just start winging it. You're going to lose all your money. I've done it. Once you learn to trade and learn some risk management, man, opportunities are endless. I quit a 6-figure job last year. It was in August, I believe. And that was probably the best decision I ever made in my life. I have total freedom now. Love it. But I took a lot of practice to get there. I just didn't quit my job until I knew I was making enough and I was profitable enough to do so. Savvy around 40 to 44, 45. There's a 20 weekly and 20 MA daily possible rejection area. You're looking at the weekly. Well, I don't use MAs. I use EMAs, man. I'm not a fan of the MAs because the MAs are slower to follow the price action, and crypto is super volatile. EMAs follow the price action a lot better. They're more volatile along with the they're more touchy. You get a way better reading with the EMAs than you're going to get on MAs on crypto. As you can see the response every time these get hit. I mean, it's EMAs are what you should be using, in my opinion. You can use whatever you want. If it works for you, great. This is what works for me. What did you do for work before trading? I managed a company and had my own company. All right, guys. I stick around for a couple more questions, and I think I'm going to get out of here. Most people who say they make 6-figure salary usually make about 50 a year. No, I made a 6-figure salary. I was making over 100 a year. So when does the daily close? The daily closes in 8.5 hours. Any risk management tips? Yeah, don't use tight stops. Don't just trade to trade. Look for support and resistance areas. I would definitely stick a 4-hour time frames and above. You can go into smaller time frames to look for confirmation, but 4-hour time frames and above are the best to trade, in my opinion. The lower time frame you go, the more risk you're gonna lose your ass, and the higher leverage you go, you're gonna lose your ass, especially in smaller time frames. Risk 1 or 2%. You know, you could, if you're trying to get in trades at the right time, you short resistance, long support, risk 1 or 2%. And a lot of people say of your whole portfolio. I don't do it of my whole portfolio. I put just what I have in my trading account, and I'll risk 1, 2. Sometimes I'll go higher just because I'm a little more experienced, but risking 1 to 2%. So if you did 100 trades and you're risking 1 or 2% to gain 10, 20, 30%, whatever it may be, you could do 100 trades, lose 70, and still be profitable using proper risk management. But a lot of people just trade to trade, and they think they're going to get rich, and they try to ride every trade to the end instead of using stops. I would rather gain $1 by using stops, get my stops in a profit, than lose 100,000, 10,000, whatever. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you. Make sure you share the video if you would. Leave your comment if you're watching this after the live. Smash those thumbs up, and I'm out of here, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you in the